My name is Mary Kincannon, and I'm registrar at Texas Christian University. I had the honor of serving as SACRAO president for 2012-2013. The annual meeting that year was held in San Antonio, Texas at La Cantera Resort. La Cantera is located on the edge of the Texas Hill Country and was a beautiful site for an annual meeting. The local arrangements committee chair that year was Shelby Stanfield from the University of Texas. Shelby and the rest of his local arrangements committee did an excellent job planning and hosting the annual meeting. I loved having my annual meeting in Texas. I was happy to be able to show off my state, and many of my TACRO, that's Texas ACRO, colleagues who are not usually able to attend SACRAO were able to come to San Antonio. I really appreciated their support. The following are some of the decisions made by the executive committee during my year as president. At the post-conference EC meeting in Northern Kentucky, we discussed the cost to our institutions for serving on the executive committee. For years, the pre-conference meetings began at noon on Saturday. That start time pretty much guaranteed that the EC members had to come in on Friday, resulting in an extra room night and meals. We opted to try a 2:00 start for the San Antonio meeting, eliminating the extra expense for our institutions, in some cases for individuals. This change worked well for us, and I believe this schedule is still being followed today. The executive committee voted to increase the multicultural emerging leader scholarship from $800 to $1,250. We discovered that year that the lower amount did not provide enough support to enable someone to attend the annual meeting. We'd actually had members who applied, were awarded a scholarship, but their institutions were still unable, budget-wise, to allow them to come to the annual meeting. At summer planning meeting in San Antonio, the executive committee voted to end the long-time SACRAO practice of double occupancy for the summer planning meetings. Even when we are away, most of us are still in contact with our offices. Since we work for SACRAO during the day at summer planning, our office duties get pushed to the evening. The executive committee deemed it unfair to the roommate when someone had to do work late into the night on a project. We all know that just because we get leave time from our institutions to come doesn't mean that our job responsibilities can be put on hold. The EC that summer also took a look at the corporate partner dues and exhibitor fee structure. This had been an issue for local arrangements committees for several years. We decided that the booth fee for the annual meeting would count as the corporate partner dues. And as a new business item in that executive committee meeting, a suggestion was made to look at the whole committee structure for SACRAO. With the evolution of functions and processes in registrars, records, and admissions offices, was our committee structure still valid? Were we missing newer functions and responsibilities? Had things changed so much they no longer needed it to be an emphasis? The schedule of classes comes to mind because my institution hasn't printed one for 15 years. We knew this would not be a quick discussion, and we really didn't want it to be. An ad hoc committee was established, and the structure of state associations and ACRO were all studied. In fact, the applicable Constitution and Bylaws committees changes are being voted on this meeting 4 years later. The annual meeting in San Antonio was the first meeting where the guidebook was used for evaluations. While we had a rough start that year, SACRAO has been able to successfully use guidebook for each annual meeting since then. Not printing paper evaluation forms and printing the large programs has been a great cost savings for the association. In closing, allow me to say how valuable my time at SACRAO has been, both professionally and personally. It's broadened my horizons and pushed me out of my comfort zone, both good things. Not too long ago, I would never have dreamed of running an annual meeting, but I did it. The people I have met and worked with are respected colleagues, mentors, and good friends. And yes, while I have given much time, effort, and energy to SACRAO, I've received so much more in return. For me, this has truly been a labor of love, and I will always be grateful to have had this experience.